Hi everyone! Today we are talking about anime, more specifically Studio Ghibli. So I think that's how you say it. I don't know, maybe it's Studio Ghibli, not sure. Anyway, moving on. So I've always loved them, and recently they have been, well, not they, but some of them have been uploaded to Netflix. So I'm going to recommend to you which ones I think are worthwhile watching. And any that I don't mention because I've not seen, maybe if you drop me a little comment below, and then I'll give that a go as well. See what we think of it. So let's get started. My least favourites that I've seen, so I've seen quite a few. My least favourites, I would have to say, would probably be The Cat Returns, Ponyo. Well, I mean, Ponyo was alright, but it wasn't good enough to make my collection. Let's just say that. And yeah, I think it's just those two that I've seen that I don't actually own. And then I've got a few in my collection that I have that aren't particularly my favourites. So we're looking at Wind Rises, which I wasn't really a fan of, and Arrietty. Now, those ones are in sort of the lower categories for me, just because I feel like either they were, for instance, I mean, Ponyo was alright. It wasn't bad, but it didn't have that sort of, I mean, it was magical and all that, but it didn't touch me. Okay, what am I saying? Anyway, I just feel like there's other ones that would be more brilliant to watch, and I just think that that they're the ones that we should focus on. So they're okay. They get a solid okay from me. Probably the best ones of those would be Ponyo and, yeah, no, just Ponyo really. Maybe The Cat Returns if you're really a cat fan, if you love your kittens. So yeah, moving on from those ones because I don't want to waste time on those. My top 6. So I'm going to split them into 3 that I think are really, really good and definitely worth watching, and then my 3 personal favourites. So the 3 to watch that I would recommend to you, but not on my personal favourite list, are Princess Mononoke, I can't say this one, Nausicaa Valley of the Wind, is that right? I'm just peeking down at my DVD to try and read it right, but I don't know, maybe it's not. Anyway, that one, that's a good one. And My Neighbour Totoro, or Totoro, or I don't know, I just don't say the words very well. So, Princess Mononoke, why is this a good one to watch? Well, it's so beautiful. Actually, let me retract that. It's quite gory, but it's beautifully drawn, if that makes sense, I think. Like, there's some beautiful scenes with, like, nature and all that. But then you got a lot of sort of graphic detail, which I kind of wasn't expecting when I first watched it. It kind of did throw me a little bit. But then there's an underlying sort of really good sort of environmentalist message, I think, going alongside the story, which just makes it a really, really, really good one to watch. I think you have to watch it. It's so good. My Neighbour Totoro, I don't know. Anyway, that one's a classic. If you're watching this one, don't expect a huge plot, really. There's not much of a sort of a story going, I don't think. I personally wouldn't say that there is, but it's a beautiful piece with lovely music, and it's quite a warm-hearted, kind of easy watch, I personally would say. And I'd recommend it because it's just one of the classics that people do talk about. Yeah. Then we have Nausicaa, I don't know, Valley of the Wind. This is a really, really good one. Again, it has a bit of an underlying sort of environmentalist message going about, I would say. And the sort of the destruction of the planets because of human war and humans sort of just basically poisoning the earth, and the earth is kind of retaliating, and all the creatures are kind of adapting, and then humans can't live in it anymore, and it's just so great. It is so good. And then you've also got like the music. The music is always brilliant in these animes. It's always fantastic. Like, you can't floor it, you can't fault it. So yeah, it's a good one. It's a really good one with a good story behind it. So that's a definite one that you've got to watch. Okay, now we're down to my personal favourite 3. So, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I have 3 little doggies, and they're so cute. And they are actually all named after anime that I have watched. So, obviously in my top 3, we have Kiki's Delivery Service. And my little Kiki loves it too. Anyway, so Kiki's Delivery Service, I'd say I love the top 3 films that I've added, but I would put it as the bottom of the top 3, just because I don't think everyone's going to be sort of on board with that. It's a very easy watch. It's just about the trials and tribulations, I don't know, that's the saying, isn't it? Trials and tribulations of a young little witch who's going off into the world to make her sort of life. Yeah. It's a good watch, it really is, and the music's lovely, and it kind of has a sort of Mediterranean feel to it, which I love, because obviously, you know, I'm sort of half Maltese, so that was it was nice, it's really nice. It's one of the ones that make you feel good after, I think. Of all the ones that I'm going to suggest to you, this one doesn't have that it hasn't got that weirdness. Which it could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on what it is that you're actually looking to watch. The ones that the ones that I suggested to you before, for instance, Princess Mononoke, they're kind of a bit weird. They're really weird. But this one it's not. It's just a very easy sort of classic struggle, overcoming the struggle, easy watch. Don't have to really think too much about it. That's what I think anyway, but it's a cute one. It's so good. Like, definitely watch that one. Just when you're stressed and you don't want to be thinking too much, put that one on. That's the go-to easy watch. So, my next one. Number 2 of my top 3, Howl's Moving Castle. Now, I love this one. It kind of almost would be my top 1, but I feel like it's just a little bit too weird to put as a top 1, in the sense that it's very abstract. Like, every time I watch it, I don't know if you're supposed to, but I always take away a new message from it, and the more you watch it, you're just like, and it's a bit wacky. It's got like, I mean, my top 1 is going to be a bit like that too, don't get me wrong, but this one, it's just that extra weirdness to it. But it's a really, really good one. The music and the animation and the story, I just love it. I love it so much. We've got the storyline, basically, we've got a girl who becomes cursed, and she sets off because she turns into this old lady. She meets Hal before, but I don't want to spoil it. Am I giving spoilers here? I'm trying not to spoil it. How do I explain it without spoiling it? So basically, gets cursed, tries to overcome the curse, and then, I don't know, budding romance? Would you call it that? Watch it and then tell me, would you class it as a budding romance type film, like this struggle and romance? I don't know. Or maybe I'm just reading too much into the love between Howl and this character. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it's definitely top 2. That's one that you should watch, I think. Yeah, do it. Just do it. Put it on. You'll love it. Now, time for my top 1. Spirited Away. And I'm pretty sure that you would have probably heard this title by now, if you are even remotely into any kind of anime. Like, it's got to be one of the top classics, surely. It's amazing. It's beautiful, there's a backstory to it, the music is on point, and then there's like the whole struggle element as well. You've got small little, almost like stories, not stories, but messages, we'll call them messages, underlying in them that it tries to get across. So you've got sort of this whole element of greed and, well, actually, yeah, I just say mostly about greed. Some people have tried to, when I was reading online about it afterwards, compared it to things like brothels, and I was just a little bit like, I hadn't picked up on that before, and now I kind of can't unsee it. So I wasn't really, well, I'm gonna skip over that just a little bit. If you want to hear and read up on theories behind it, be my guest, but I'm not gonna talk about them because it destroys the innocent story behind it that I always used to originally see. Anyway, so yeah, Spirited Away is the top one to watch. You've got to see it. You've got to. It's so, so good. So I know that was an absolutely terrible explanation of my favorite animes from this studio, but I hope it helped you, and at least you know which ones that you should at least give a go, because they come recommended. So You know, give them a go. See what you think of them. If there's any that you've seen that I've not mentioned that you think I would like, you know, drop them in the comments and maybe I'll give them a go and review them. I don't know, I've not really reviewed anything, but I hope I've not spoiled anything as well for you, because you know, I was talking a lot and I was trying. It's a hard one because you don't want to spoil it when you're reviewing something or telling someone about your top favourite ones, but at the same time, how do you explain the story without over-explaining the story and then ruining it for everyone else? Because part of the magic of an anime is watching it and it's like new and exciting and you don't know anything about it for the first time, and it's just like, oh, and you get taken away to this magical place that you didn't expect. Or at least I think so anyway. So I hope that there's still magic in them for you and that you enjoy them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, give us a subscribe. We're almost at 100. I know I keep saying that. It's very slow to get to 100. If you have any tips as well on how I can improve my videos, I would be really grateful for them, because I always want to make my content better for you. Bye! I'm so weird. Oh, okay.